Unmute myself.
Am I audible?
Yes.
A very good and blessed morning, everyone. I am Nahid Akhtar, Assistant Professor at Bharat Institute of Engineering and Technology from the Department of English. My dear friends, I welcome you on the third day of Faculty Development Program, International Faculty Development Program. It's an unprecedented pleasure to have you all here. I feel privileged to introduce and today's guest. He is an assistant professor at KL University. He is language and literature teacher, and he has completed his PhD in development of language uses and meanings in varied contexts as per the theory of deconstruction, and MPhil in formation cum transformation of language, identity and nation as per the theory of post-colonialism. He is a content writer and soft skills trainer. He has 10 years of experience in teaching in ELT and soft skills with an added qualification of NET and SET. As we all are aware, artificial intelligence can be helpful in making students learn a variety of tasks that inculcate pronunciation, vocabulary, grammar, and even enhances reading comprehension. Our today's topic is artificial intelligence and language learning by Dr. Mudassir Rahman Nazar. My hearty welcome to you, sir. Kindly proceed with your presentation. Over to you, sir. Thank you. Sir, kindly proceed with your presentation.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Good morning to all our the professionals over there. Particularly, I would first like to thank Chief Patron of the institution. Patron, convener and organizer, team of coordinators, organizing committee, and other participants. So, give me such honor that today I would like to share some of the experiences, some of my personal experience, some of the experiences in the academic field, in the classroom situation. And I would really be honored to deliver today with regard to both industrial revolution, artificial intelligence, and language learning. Today, when we talk about the challenge of academicians, particularly of English teachers, I think English teachers in the contemporary times are coming with a mission, and they're expected from the academic structure, they're expected as the excellent practitioners, excellent, we can say that, performers, and at the same time, they are coming with a challenge. What sort of challenge? Usually, it has been said that whenever we sort out the performances of different subject experts, subject specialists, and I found it in the various universities and colleges that if we ask a particular subject teacher of a particular subject teacher other than the language, they're pretty sure that they are going to teach and they are going to get the good productivity from the learners. Even if they are supposed to teach them, we can say that technology, we can say that digitization, programming, some other things. On the other side, some teachers from the pure sciences, they are going to teach their students the concepts. No doubt we do have in our literature, we teach philosophy, we teach psychology, we teach almost everything. But meanwhile, in the provenance of language, we have a lot of challenges. It is usually said that if we give a student a science teacher, they teach him science. If give the same student to the mathematics teacher, he'll teach you mathematics. But at the same time, I'll give the same student to a language teacher. For language teacher, it becomes very, very difficult to teach language to the student. Ultimately, the student comes out to qualify that subject, but the way he should acquire linguistic skills is not up to the mark. For that matter, we, as a team of English teachers, we have a lot of challenges. And particularly with the arrival of, we can say, the technological advancement under the purview of fourth industrial revolution, and artificial intelligence has already been there, right from the very beginning, almost in its crude form. So off and on, we have been making use of this artificial intelligence. But with this intention, with this precept, we can never devalue ourselves, we can never discourage ourselves, because human intelligence is there, always at the top. And it can never be superseded by technology. It's technology, it's artificial intelligence, be it the machine learning, be it the, we can say that other things, be it the chat GPT. These all things have been prepared and developed by human mind. And even if we as teachers, while going to the classroom situation, hope that I'm audible to you. Hope that I'm audible to you.
देख के चलना चाहिए ना।
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, sir, you're audible. We had a
Yes,
disturbance
yeah,
from
yes.
some participant.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
you can continue.
it's okay. So we come with the mission, we come with the challenge. And English teacher has always been there in order to, we can say that, manipulate, in order to execute the technology. So moving ahead in my presentation, talking about the fourth industrial revolution, as I already told you right from the very beginning, there had been many changes in technology. And no doubt at the very first instant of coming out the technological advancements, we somehow feel that our role is not there. But our role is always there. Without our role, it can never suffice the teaching learning process. While talking about the fourth industrial revolution, we better know, we all better know that it has really stormed the world with the advancement of even already existing technology and the forthcoming technologies. And it really blurred the boundaries between physical, digital, and biological world.
या तो इस पे सुनना है तो इस पे भी सुन सकते हो.
And we say that we have a sort of hybridized lifestyle now. We have come to a state of mind where we have hybridized state of mind, hybridized state of life, hybridized state of profession, hybridized state of workplace, wherein we go into the classroom situation and we find that a lot of information is already with the learner. A lot of activity-based things are already with the in the hands of learner, in the hands of student. So there we emerge as instructors, we emerge as a bridge between the whole Olympus of information that lies there in different technological search engines. And on the other side, there lies some sort of information of that, crude information with the learner. So we have a greater role to play. So surely, it's a fusion of advances in the artificial intelligence, robotics, and Internet of the Things with other advanced. So there, we have the role to play. And no doubt, we have been very reluctant. Even I have been unwilling to go into this sphere wherein I need to execute, I need to apply linguistic aspects, language performance, language activities on some technological basic devices. Even sometimes I feel unwilling to use, but we are bound. There is no other option. Excel ourselves, excel the productivity of our teaching learning process. There is no going away. We need to proceed. Otherwise, we can be deemed. We'll have to keep pace with the times. No doubt there have been other discoveries and inventions in other subjects. But in our subject, we no doubt things are available. But to execute the things in a proper manner, in a smart manner, we have the duties to perform. I think so. So while just numbering, while just highlighting the technological landmarks we do have, throughout the history, when we go down to the temporal shift, there are temporal shifts. Down the timeline, we have sound recorded. First human voice had been recorded in 1860. We have Google, the grand search engine, isn't it? 1996. Then we have LMS. We have learning management system of different types. It has been inaugurated in 1925. And since then, it has been refined by and by with almost every year, in every decade. We face the different challenges in order to set a proper example. For example, we as faculty members, we as teachers, when we move from institution to institution, we find different sort of LMSs, different sort of learning management systems. Somewhere it is UMS, somewhere it is ERP, somewhere it's something else. And we need to cope with it. We need to master it. Only then we can excel our teaching. No doubt, we have the competencies. Every English teacher here in India, we have the competence. But the way how to perform, the way how to release, the way how to, we can say that, how to project that competence, that's a challenge for us. My teacher used to tell me that there is dearth of English teachers in Asia. Forget about India. What is the dearth of English teachers? We do have competencies. We do have qualifications. We know literature. We know rules, grammatical rules. But the way how to put those grammatical rules in a particular format so that the learner would find it as a lollipop, as a very easy thing, as a very fantastic thing. No. So that is our duty. So we have different sort of LMSs in the historical technology. We have GPS system in order to navigate where we actually are. We have Microsoft, the grand landmark in the history, wherein we can say that with the help of Bill Gates and other people over there in 1975 in US. So this is a grand interface, grand platform, wherein we have different sort of we can say learning, teaching material. We can pass it on, like we have teammates application. Then artificial intelligence. When we talk about artificial intelligence, though it's new to us, we are not the subject expertise of this. We have not been taught artificial intelligence right from the very beginning. But this is not the excuse that we'll get away from it. Artificial intelligence has already been there, and we are utilizing it in the sort of smartphones. In the sort of, we can say that some system softwares that are working in different organizations, isn't it? Why I'm trying to just highlight some things from the from the computer sciences, because we need to take care. We need to be acquainted with this thing. We need to be, we can say that, we need to know it. Only then we can be a little bit confident to use it. We have QR code system, though this is not directly related to our, we can say that the topic. We have YouTube, launched in 2005, if I'm not mistaken. And YouTube is a charming box, a charming platform wherein we just watch a video and that video tells us a lot. By watching just one TED Talk, we get a lot of ideas about communication skills. We get a lot of ideas about communication process, isn't it? About anything. We have ChatGPT. That's actually the product of OpenAI, Open Artificial Intelligence. And what is actually this artificial intelligence? Though I'm not, my humble request to you, to my listeners, to my audience, to my great audience is that I'm not the expertise in computer sciences. I have a little knowledge. I have the very surface knowledge of computer science. But what I mean, I have come as a reminder. My lecture is as a reminder. All the galaxy of English teachers over there. That means we need to keep pace. We need to go with the wind. The wind is of technology. So unless and until we will put ourselves in the color of technology by projecting our linguistic skills, by projecting even our literary skills, even our literary competencies, we need to perform it through technology. So OpenAI is there. It is the creator of ChatGPT. Recent, we can say, that advancement in just November 2022, and it's totally, though it's just a prototype. We may find some other find some other things relevant to it. Though ChatGPT is just, I think, I will like to make a very crude analogy here. I think ChatGPT is as good as the earlier traditional type of that guide. We used to name it guide in our locality, guide for English, guide for science, guide for mathematics. It is simply a guide. So it's the series of programming, high profile programming with naturalized language, with some human intelligence, humanoid intelligence, and it gives whatever we ask it, it gives us back, isn't it? There are different, we can say that, advantage and at the same time disadvantage of it. So this has come into the market, and we are bound to know about it, and even we can use it. We can use it for our own language skills, for our own conversational refinement, isn't it? So almost everything there across the technological landmarks, it has its value. We cannot deny the value of it, validity of it, but its validity may be short-living. Whatever the resources, whatever we can say that, to be very crude, whatever the exploitation we can make use from ChatGPT, we are bound to do that. Ultimately, these technological landmarks has come to the forefront to give us the fourth industrial revolution, wherein technology has become the modern day oxygen, wherein we are bound to teach language, but we cannot teach it without the assistance of technology. We are bound to teach literature. We cannot teach it without the assistance, without, we can say that, the help of technology. Then we have one more thing relevant to it, that is ICT, information and communication technology. So this is, we can say that, some sort of bound box up that's made of computer technology, mobile phones, radio, television, satellite system. And even UNESCO once in 2002 has really vehemently asserted its importance in the field of education. When you call it the field of education, so directly it's related to us. We teach literature, we teach ethics, we teach philosophy on the one side from literature, and on the other side, we teach language. And particularly language is more than literature. Actually, right now, communication skills in every field, be it in information technology, be it with engineering students, be it with CSE students, be it with BCom students, be it with everywhere, be it in business, real-time business. Communication skills is a very broad. I was very immature at a time when I used to say that, when I used to think that communication is simply that it's a deliverance of some verbals, deliverance of some speech, and on the other side, somebody listens to it. It's more and more than that. Communication is a process. Communication is an attitude. Communication is an aptitude. Communication is a process, whole process that can make hell out of heaven, that can make heaven out of hell. So that's why we need to refine this communication with different coming technological gadgets or technological applications, isn't it? So with ICT, we need to think about it, we need to read about it, and we need to use, or we can say that, utilize different things related to ICT. And moreover, it helps us to master the basic skills, and it helps us particularly in the core of education. It helps us particularly in ELT. It helps us in the listening, speaking, writing, and reading performances, wherein we teacher, while listening to it himself or themselves, can learn a lot of things, and while passing it, while diffusing it to the learners, they can, at the same time, they can make their teaching learning process very smooth and smart and fantastic. Yes. Then related to ICT, we have computer-assisted language learning, wherein we have different theories related to it. So we'll not go deeply into the theories, and particularly while we have second language learning. So I must accept it. To be very honest to you, I must accept it that we, even if we have been taught by some native teachers in some institutions, we got the opportunity. But even then, that mother tongue influence, that fluency, tone, pronunciation, and other things, we lack that. We need to come to that level. So that's why English teachers, we need to imitate first. We need to imitate first, only then we can recreate. So this is a process, it's a transition. Here usually happens a transition from imitation to recreation. Isn't it? Once there was a conference in a particular university, and there I've been asking a question that what do you think about that we should have the native teachers in the academy? I told them that no doubt native teachers, they excel. They perform well. But we as Indians, we as Indian teachers of English, so we can say that we know the different levels. We know the different, we can say that complexes in language learning. We know the real nature of our learners. No doubt, a native speaker will come, he will deliver in a very native tone, in a very particular running tone, in a very connected speech. But the learners would understand nothing out of that. No doubt, we believe in direct method. We believe in direct deliverance of the speech. But in the same breath, I would like to tell you that no doubt English native speaker will deliver in an excellent manner. But we have the experience of making different transitions from one level, from grammatic level to phonetic level, from phonetic level to the level of that, coming to the level of making connected speech. We have that experience. No doubt we can do well. We should not be so diffident. But while taking help from the technology, we should not be reluctant to take help. So with this computer-assisted language learning, it is particularly meant for, from our point of view, from language point of view, particularly meant from second language learning theories. And when Dickinson talks about it, he asserts on that it's accommodating the digital literacy for language classrooms. Particularly under the subtitle, we have communicative call and integrative call. In communicative call, as launched in 1970s through 80s, we can say that it encourages us for the general original utterances with flexibilities in response rather than prefabricated language. So this communicative call helps us in the casualness of our speech. Once we are able to get away from that ghost of fear, that the way I will deliver the language, the way I will deliver the connected speech, I may do wrong somewhere. That's why in communicative call, there we have flexibilities in grammar. We have flexibilities in utterances, in responses. So it helps us to get away from the prefabricated mechanical sort of language. Every time we don't really get the real taste of language, the essence of language. Likewise, in the integrated form, we have some recordings, we have some, it allows us also media in terms of texts, graphics, animation, sound, and video. I once made an experiment with small kids. You know, there's some sort of those cartoon shows in English, and these cartoon shows are very, very attractive to the kids. And by and by, they start to learn language in terms of graphics, in terms of text, in terms of subtitles are there, sometimes some sort of animations are there. That also we can make use of in our classroom situation. That will help us. Then we have correlated some other aspects. We have technology enhanced language learnings, where we have constructivist learning. In constructivist learning, we usually, under this theory, we usually accommodate some template-based language learning, wherein we usually indicate to the material. We usually indicate to the learning material. We just refer to the learners that, look, that's the template there. That shows this. That shows this. So in this is called the constructivist learning theory. That also attracts the learners in technology enhanced language learning. We have robotics. We have robot assisted language learning, where we have different sort of, we can say robotic performances, isn't it? So in this robotic performances, we do motivate our learners. We do make our learners confident so that they can come forward and they can just listen and they can just find some sort of naturalized language formation, naturalized language conversation. This also they can learn because this helps us in the human-robot interaction. When we go into the interaction of human-robot interaction, soon will be the time there. Technological advancements are galloping away, and they have left almost everything behind. So time will come when we'll be asked to relate William Shakespeare, the contemporary times. We'll have to put his ideas to the robotic scenario. So we need to be prepared for that. Like we have robotics, some sort of robotics. I don't remember the name now. I heard that robot performing the news, having the news stations in news audio, news video platform. Likewise, we have Ameca, the latest humanoid robot, first launched in December 2021. So I am not just here giving you the briefing of the technology. No, I am just giving you the briefing of the technology vis-a-vis the English language teachers, the English literature teachers, our challenge. We need to keep this in mind. I have been very afraid of mathematics. Okay, I got away from this subject and somehow I managed to come into the academics. But we cannot avoid technology. It's always there. And we as the communication soft skill trainer, we are supposed to go anywhere, from anywhere to everywhere. And there we need to be compatible with the system. We need to be compatible with the learners, engineering students, isn't it? Computer students, commerce students. We need to be compatible there. For that, we need to learn, we must learn this provenance of jargon, this provenance of language, this provenance of technologically sound system. Likewise, you have learning management system, and you are well aware about that learning management system. Okay, we have the repository of all your learning material there, and it manages the training processes, registrations, course assignments for e-learning, virtual and in-person sessions. There are some teaching platforms right now. For example, tomorrow you're going to perform somewhere in the online platform, online interface, wherein you maintain records. Maybe in the Zoom platform, maybe in the Teammate, maybe somewhere in the Google Classroom. You are maintaining records for training, for registrations, for assignments, for e-learning, for in-person sessions. So this LMS systematizes all these things, tracking records, processing statistics, generating reports, other things. Like LMS, we have some other things, as I already mentioned, Teammates is there, Google Classroom is there, and other interface applications are there. Then we have MAL. A very abbreviated terminology I'm using. It's mobile assisted language learning. Most of the institutions, they give their employees some sort of mobile application relevant to their institution, wherein they perform different directives, they send their different directives, different commands, and even the teachers themselves, they perform their activities. They can evaluate, isn't it? They can perform, they can give tests to the students. So mobile assisted language learning is also there, applicable. It's in terms of tablets, computers, smartphones. This is very relevant to us. Believe me, this is very relevant to us. I have been getting away from this very system again and again. I don't know this. I don't know that. I don't know how to handle Excel, isn't it? No doubt with Word and PowerPoint, it's okay. We expect that we are bound to deal with that. Relevant to this mobile assisted language learning, these are computer applications or some Android and some Windows applications are there. We have Hip Speaking. It is basically a platform interface wherein we can train We can train the students for speaking skills. Even we have been struggling, even I have been struggling, to be honest, I have been struggling to get the native tone for the last so many years. Why? There are different hurdles. Sometimes I'm unwilling, sometimes my learners are unwilling, sometimes environment is not so favorable. That's why we must use these sort of applications. Tip speaking, we have transcript, we have PGI writing. Now we started to use these applications. This is for specifically for the writing tasks. And moreover, we have some other relevant applications. We have Alexa by Amazon. We have Google Assistant by Google. We have Siri by Apple. And with such sort of applications, we can excel. We can perform well. We can fantastically be productive in our classroom situation. Because it has been said that student is the best judge of teacher. Though I don't believe it. They are poles apart. Student can never be the judge of teacher. But somehow in the classroom deliverance, in the productivity of the class, they are judges. They are the powerful agency of giving feedback, isn't it? For that performance, we need to take care of the system. We need to give them the task-based activity so that we can really, our classroom situation can really be fruitful. This is a very traditional thing, podcast and vodcast. We usually give them podcast and vodcast. Even in the British Council, while going for the IELTS, while going for the TOEFL examination, they preferably suggest us that go for the podcast and vodcast. Because this is the interface, this is the platform where we can involuntarily learn certain things, not voluntary. That's why we say that language is not taught, it's caught. Somehow it's an involuntary aspect. We just acquire it with certain environment. Environment is must. So we have podcasts, we have videos, we have in the podcasts, we have audios in the podcasts. It's a very general thing. And moreover, in other LMS systems, we have G Drive for storage and data categorization. We have Moodle, it's open source LMS. It's also a learning management system. And actually this Moodle works within learning management system and it uses LTI system, wherein we have interoperability. The other day I was asking this sort of thing, what is this interoperability? I asked it to a language, to a computer science expert. And he told me that it's actually the standard. It's actually we can say that it's the soul of LMS, wherein it automatically integrates the material, it automatically disintegrates the material. It has the, we can say that, the work of analyzing and synthesizing the course material. And this also in the long run helps us a lot. While giving the exercises, while giving the language exercises to the students through LMS, we give them assignments, we give them fill-ups, we give them some sentence making, we give them some sort of analysis, grammatical analysis, where they are supposed to highlight some, we can say, some parts of speech. Likewise, our Padlet. It's also an education technology. And it's a web platform wherein we organize and share content on the virtual bulletin boards. This is not only today, we are not just thinking, we have right now, later in the slides, I'm going to discuss, we can say that blended learning, flipped learning. You know that in the COVID times, what has happened? We had hybrid classes. We had, usually I remember the days of my, we can say that classroom situation at that time. I was in Punjab in lovely professional university. There, I just used to have 10 to 15 students in my class, and rest 30 to 40 students were online. So we need to handle both ways, online as well as offline, isn't it? That's why we need these sort of platforms, and we need to know about these sort of platforms. Only then we can diffuse, we can deliver language, we can teach it better, we can learn it better. First, we can learn it. We teachers are always learners. Here's now level of learning. And we have Padlet once again. It's once again the platform wherein you can say yes. So we have Canvas also relevant to it. It's also a LMS based. We can say that a system software wherein we can use the materials like graphics. We can use the designing. We can just make the graphics and designing in order to encourage, in order to inspire students to go for speaking. We can just give them exercises just for a sketch, just for some sort of design. Then we'll ask the students one by one, just describe it. Go on describing it in a perfect way. Or we can just get the students in pairs, just discuss the sketch. Isn't it? So with this, it usually simplifies our exercise, simplifies our job in the classroom situation, and it usually never ever it lessens our efforts. Teachers' efforts are never being lessened with the advancement of technology. We are being giving more and more duties in order to accelerate the learning, teaching learning process. Therefore, LMS has replaced the role of traditional face-to-face class. That's so moving ahead, we have artificial intelligence and improving language skills. We have lingua skills. It has been initiated by Cambridge University. Cambridge University has been initiating it time after time, but this time they have come with new, we can say that new changes in it, wherein it was first introduced in Colombia in December 2019. And then it tests all the language skills. Even it gives us the platform for the practice. It gives us the tests also, testing platforms. And it's other AI-based English language tests are there. We have Duolingo. It's like game-like exercise. Because learners even now have started to become very, very tricky. And why? Teacher has really a great job to do. Ironically, sometimes a teacher is asked that why your students are not interested. Very, very, we can say that the above, we can say that the below common sense questions, why your students are not interested in you, in your class. What to do then? We are not gods in small g. We are not the magicians who will just put some magic into the mind of the learner and he will learn. He'll be interested. So for that, we need to exploit, we need to utilize those sort of applications like Duolingo, Memrise is there, Babel is there, High Native is there. So we can use these applications somehow. Even if we cannot, we can say that even if we cannot perform through these applications in the classroom, at least we can go through these applications, we can just use these applications, and then it will really give us the sort of spirit of performing in the class with different innovations. These sort of all things are there. Game-like exercise through Duolingo. Fun vocabulary. Okay, it gives us the word power. It will just, we can say that make our students busy in a very, very, very smart way. Babel is there. It explains grammatical rules. High Native is there. Unique way to improve conversation skills. Activity-based material is very, very important. Activity-based material. I'm just sharing my personal experience with you that I had a son of almost 7 years old. Right now, he memorizes almost 300 to 400 verbs with conjugation. He knows all the rules of English language. Barring pronunciation, phonetics, I didn't teach him. But the way I started to be very experimental on. But even now, he is not in a way to perform, to speak in such a tone. Why? The reason is the performance. The reason is activity. This is one of the great quotes of Benjamin Franklin. He says that, tell me, I will forget. Teach me, I will remember. and involve me, I will learn. That's what involvement is must. Traditionally, we used to teach students, we used to tell them very good rules, very unique, very innovative rules. But they don't learn ultimately. Isn't it? So in the same manner, now moving to the next slide, we have flipped. I already mentioned that we have challenge of undergoing flipped classroom, wherein in flipped classroom usually what do we do? We just provide the content. We just provide the course material to the students. Then we actually go into the classroom situation and things. And usually I remember that this is somehow relevant. This is some similar to IGNO. This is somehow similar to Manu, wherein we just give the material to the students. Then later on, maybe on Sundays, later on, maybe on every day, maybe on online platform, we teach them. And it also creates a dynamic interactive learning environment, wherein we can have the optimum language learn. Yeah, we can have group talks, we can have online quizzes, we can have other interesting mechanisms. And in contrary to it, we have blended classroom situation wherein internet and digital technology, as I already told you, that blending technology, it's a simultaneous mix up of both things, online and offline teaching. It's also a challenge for a teacher, particularly for the language teacher. That's the context here. So that's why it had been said that it's a self-adaptive system. It's an interaction between language in use and technology in use. Once again, we'll have to exchange our knowledge. We'll have to exchange our performance with the technological aspect of language learning. So we have artificial intelligence everywhere. As I already told you that it has become the modern day oxygen now. I used to call English language the modern day oxygen. Now I think that some part of that oxygen lies in technology also. So we have in artificial intelligence, whatever is there. I already told you that out of my own humble little learning that I got from the computer sciences, that's artificial intelligence is there. It was always there, always there. It was in the crude form. It got refined by and by. Isn't it? Somehow we used to have JavaScript. Somehow we used to have Java software. It started into Android, isn't it? Now we have some system softwares like how ATM gives money to us, how we get a ticket from the railway station, isn't it? How we book some other things. So it has always been there. It has been there in the recordings. It has been there audiovisual recordings. It has been there in Google. It has been there now. The ultimate form of it has come into the form of ChatGPT. So what is ChatGPT? That's actually the refined form of artificial intelligence. Open AI, open artificial intelligence. It has been given as a trade name. So likewise, we have thinking problems in English teaching. We have practical application community abilities. It stimulates educational characteristics of human brain by giving some English thinking in daily dialogue and communication. And it also helps us making certain programs, making certain systems, even in the robotic technology, wherein they feed to the robot different things in terms of learning, speaking, evaluating, and other things. And under this AI, we have intelligent tutoring system. We have tutors, online tutors. We have it activates the internet efficiencies. It activates the hypermedia, even in the e-education, helps us a lot in e-education. And this not going too broad in the artificial intelligence, I would like to skip this slide, I think. It is fast and effective nature of IP that help us in difficult language learning. And it's actually the humanoid intelligence that has been put into the computer program that gives us the impact of English language learning in a very simplified way. And particularly out of this artificial intelligence, we have some sort of bifurcation conversational artificial intelligence. It's actually the state of technology wherein wherein we put some artificial intelligence that focuses on the creating intelligent systems. That intelligent system we find in Google Assistant, somehow in a crude form. But now in ChatGPT, we ask it that give me some information about weather. Though it cannot give. It has the data only up to, I think, if I'm not mistaken, it has the data only up to 2022. Now they are refining it. Give me some grammatical rules about parts of speech. Give me some grammatical rules about narration. It will give. So specifically, it goes to that. So that means in terms of board of pedagogy, board of virtual assistants, artificial intelligence, always there. And now directly, ultimately, I'm coming to ChatGPT. Then I'll just highlight some sort of exercises that we can do through ChatGPT in order to refine our language, in order to have some linguistic or ALT exercises. It's based on OpenAI structure. ChatGPT generative pre-trained transformer. It's pre-trained. No doubt it's humanoid intelligence. No doubt it's as if it's in robotic formation, we can say. And then we can say that it's OpenAI, and it has been powered by, we can say that, adapting contextualized dependencies. Contextualize. And it gives us appropriate responses. Somehow we can be on the wrong track while asking ChatGPT. But even now, this is the trend. This is the talk of the town now, ChatGPT. So we can say that it helps us in the data analysis here. It helps us the sequential data. It helps us the natural language texts. It helps to generate outputs that are as it appears that it's human like. And it also has a broad corpus of text of data that it has already been programmed in such a way that it gives us the appropriate, it directly goes to that scope. Have you ever been, if you have been using ChatGPT, whenever we type into it that give us this information, it gives the crude information. By crude, I mean without any reference. By crude, I mean without any paper. By crude, I mean without the name of the journal. It gives us the crude one. As if it is a Superman sitting over there, and we ask it, give us this, give us this, give us that. It has its own limitations that I'll discuss later. So it helps us in different aspects, in different applications, including language translations, content generations, on reformation or refining of the content, refining of the sentences, refining of the different modes of communicating with others. And whatever the queries we ask it, it has a personalized assistant. There are different chatbots on the websites, even beyond that. Chatbots where we just put the chats. I want this. Like we have Google Assistant. Even Google has now come up with a Google Bot as in comparison with the ChatGPT. So ChatGPT, its ability to understand and respond to users' queries, collecting information and assisting with tasks. It has been highly, million times, I think millions of programs have been loaded over there. And out of those programs, it has some sort of humanoid intelligence. Some sort of, when we'll ask some query to ChatGPT usually, and we say that, give us some information about Twitter, how to use it. Then it gives some sort of in bullet points. Then we just put, give us more, it gives. And while giving it more, it just numbers, for example, the last number, if it ends at 10, in more, it starts with 11. That is actually called a humanoid intelligence, has been added with. So it has different applications within academics, while talking about from our own aspect, from the perspective of the language and literature. from the perspective, we can then say that scholastic point of view, it has its own applications, and no doubt the idea it gives us. Look, sometimes some scholars are discussing, some people, some teachers are discussing that actually it's over now. It's over. There's no fun of making the teaching material. There is no fun of making the grand paragraphs, writing research papers. It's over. But it's not actually over. Even the owner of ChatGPT himself claims that there is no such negative thing in it. And he blames the people who say that this is end of the academics or this is end of the job save. Content creation. Content writers used to be there. But the content that we get from the ChatGPT, it's mechanical in nature. It's only the human mind who can contextualize it in a proper way, who can situate it as per the human feelings, as per the human demands. No doubt it's the talk of the town, maybe for a year, but ultimately our role is always there. Particularly here, we are referring to the ChatGPT role in education, in academics. Educational tools are there. Language learning tool is also there. Answering questions, facilitating language learning, giving the different alternatives, giving the synonyms, giving the alternative sentences, giving the alternative interpretations, reinterpreting the things. Since this reminds me of, we can say that this reminds me Board. This reminds me some other platforms wherein we used to give the data to it and it used to rephrase it. That was one sort of artificial intelligence, a crude form of artificial intelligence. But right now in ChatGPT, we just give a catchy word. We just give, we can say that a caption. And it gives us the material. But fortunately, this material is mechanical in nature and it will not run for the longer time. No doubt for the time being, maybe 1 year, 2 years, or 3 years, it will work. But ultimately, it will lose its essence. As I believe, as a human being, and as per the feedback that I have received from the grand technicals. We have interactives. ChatGPT, no doubt, we just text it, but it's text-based conversations. And these text-based conversations can give us a sort of performance. Usually, we have two things in mind in linguistics. One is idiolect. Another is performance. Sorry, competence. One is idiolect, another is competence vis-a-vis performance. Idiolect is, as your good self may be knowing it and must know, that it is an individual way of speaking. Individual way of speaking. That there is a long and parole system, wherein we have the system of ideas, we have the system of vocab. On the other side, we have the performer who performs, who actually speaks. So idiolect always varies from individual to individual. In the same manner, ChatGPT can give you the performance. These things can give you the competence. These things can give you the competence. Competence is some sort of available material, some sort of available knowledge that you do have. But out of that knowledge, out of those structures, out of those sentences, whatever you perform, that's your part. That is your part. So in that very sense, I think that it's always the human intelligence, it's always there, and our own individual way of performing, delivering, our own individual way of explaining the things, that's always there, and that will always be innovative in nature. I don't deny the assessment of technology. It's there. We must take the assistance of technology, but it would not suffice. It would not suffice. No doubt right now, traditionally, we put some technological aspect in the classroom and get the work done. But actually, that's not the thing. We need to relate it. We need to innovate, put it into the innovative perspectives, diffuse it in that very scenario. So we can get the interactives, chat. We can get the rectification and refinements. We can get the vocabulary expansions and clarification of concepts. All things are relevant to academics, wherein we can rectify the language errors. We can use the alternative phrasing. We can replace a particular complex within a particular complex sentence. We can replace one clause with another innovative clause. Give me some alternative clauses for this independent clause. Isn't it? So likewise, we have vocabulary expansion. We can go for the translation. We can go for the definitions. We can go for the examples of word usage, develop new vocabulary. I would not like to lead you to the theory of deconstruction, wherein we different sort of vocabs. We just interpret and reinterpret these vocabs. We interpret the meanings, how the meanings are between the words, how the meanings are very elastic in nature. They move from one word to another, and so on and so forth. I would not like to put you into that deconstructed theoretical aspect. But here I'm just restricted to the language learning and artificial intelligence. So in that very scenario, clarification of concepts is must, wherein we learn some grammatical rules. Give me some, we can say that verbals. Give me some adjectives. Tell me what is the difference between, we can say that, tell me what is the difference between participle, past participle, and any, we can say that descriptive adjective. Give me some, what is the difference between object and complement? For example, these are some terms. So it will automatically clarify. It will give us the way so that we can refine our teaching process. Likewise, we have some language practicing tools, practicing learning and writing. We can practice learning and writing things. Task-based, as I already told you, task-based, text-based and task-based. Exercises may be there. Language immersion, wherein with the help of ChatGPT, in the target language, whenever we ask it again and again, tell me what is this? Give me some ideas about, we can say that, give me some ideas about pedagogy. Give me some ideas about objectives. Give me some idea about philosophy. So literally by and by, it gives us different ideas, and in different ideas we get different. In different paragraphs and sentences, we get different ideas. We immerse ourselves into the target language, and somehow we learn. That's why is that remember, while ChatGPT can provide language practice opportunities, it is essential to practice with variety of resources for interacting with others. So this thing will help us in the competence. While going to the ChatGPT, it will help us in the competence where which verb can be made into noun form. Which sentence can be made from simple into complex. Isn't it? Which sentence can be made from complex to compound. Which word can be replaced by some other synonyms? Which word is relevant to a particular field, maybe quote, medicine, other things. Word translation. It will give us word translation. In target language, we can just put a word particularly, it will translate it into the target language. So this will also help you, whether it is translation, it will help us into bridging the gap between two languages. This is happening right now in terms of post-colonial aspect, in terms of hybridization of language. This is the talk of the town also. Many hundreds of words are there, thousands of words are there. When we just go into search for a word in the dictionary, it says origin Latin, origin German, origin Arabic, origin Indian. What is that? That is actually the translation. That's actually the translation exercise even in literatures. It bridges the gap between different languages and expand their vocabulary. We can ask for the definitions and explanations like that. We can ask for the contextual usage. And we have so many things. Now, referentially, I'll be telling you that specific domain vocabulary, jargon that we call. What is the jargon relevant to medical field? What is the jargon relevant to computer sciences? What is the jargon relevant to engineering students? Business schools. The way we use it to go to the classroom situation, every time we start to talk about commodity, price, isn't it? Company, like thing. That's a jargon related to business world. So this will also help us to come to know about a particular specific vocabulary that is relevant to different fields of studies or walks of life. That also in the long run, that will also make us a very competent, a very good speaker of English. And at the same time, it will help us to get to diffuse the same power to the student. And ChatGPT, it has software developments. It's a prototype, and with the help of it, some software developers, they can develop some software, system software, wherein they can integrate natural language processing. Robots start to give smiles. No doubt they cannot see like humans. Then we have virtual assistants, conversation interfaces. So ultimately, it's very, very important to get with the ChatGPT and with other artificial intelligence-based applications, language-based applications, and to educate ourselves, not yourself, ourselves. I'm also the part of the team of English teachers, and we need to educate ourselves and excel in the field. And even in the strengths, we have natural language understanding, generation capabilities. It's not at the peak form. We have contextual understanding and response coherence, wherein contextually we give some specific, we can say the word to it, and it automatically starts reflecting as per that. Give me the structure of tenses. Give me the what is phonetics and phonology? What is the difference? Give me some diphthongs. How many diphthongs are there? What is their use? Strengths again, handling of various conversational scenarios. Conversation. What is this conversational scenario? That's more important for us. Transferring learning and few slot learning abilities. I'm just reading the captions. It also involves to acquire general language understanding capabilities. Again, conversational contexts. It makes us adaptive to different conversation contexts, so that we can be. It has been said that the English teacher, particularly the English literature teacher, language teacher as well, must be very talkative, must be very elastic in the interpretations. In the situations, he must be or they must be able to interpret anything from any other perspective. So that what sort of competence, what sort of performance comes from? That competence comes from this very thing, conversational adaptability. So ultimately, it has limitations also. It doesn't have any sensitivity to input phasing, prompt engineering. There may be, as I already told, there may be some confusion. Sometimes we may ask for one thing, we may ask for dear, D-E-E-R, dear. It will give us the idea about D-E-A-R, dear. For example, sometimes there may be the error in the spelling, there may be the error in the context. So it may give us misinformation in that. Generating plausible yet incorrect or biased response. ChatGPT may generate responses that sound plausible, but are factually incorrect and biased. Why? Because it can inadvertently reproduce inaccuracies, propagate stereotypes. As I already told you, whatever the commands are there, no doubt there are millions and trillions of commands over there in ChatGPT. Usually they are working in it or rather on it. It doesn't have any updated information beyond 2022. That's why we cannot properly believe in ChatGPT as a very, we can say, true or evident source of truth. Moreover, we have a lack of common sense. In ChatGPT, we cannot have common sense. It cannot properly contextualize. The common sense, reasoning, and factual accuracy is not there, especially when faced with ambiguous or complex code. And moreover, handing out of domain or ambiguous code. Again, ambiguous code. It can be confused with ambiguous code. Look, whenever we just go for the same exercise, we go into the Google. We just type it, a particular idea. No doubt, it doesn't give us in a very refined, we can say that refined material. But at least it gives us evidence, references. This paper, this book, that book, this YouTube, that video, that video. I'm not demeaning ChatGPT. I'm not trying to defend Google. I mean to say that it's different. No doubt it's a very great technology, technological advancement, technological achievement. But I tell you, and rather to me also, being the team of English teachers, we need not to be discouraged. No doubt we can make use of the source material, whatever available is there, and we refine ourselves. And we need refinement. Even I need refinement. I can't claim about you. I can't blame about you, but I blame for myself. I need a lot of refinement. And this is a continuous process, if you are not mistaken. So ultimately, there are limitations. Even with these limitations, we can say that we can just conclude it with the tone that even I remember tradition, as I already told you. I remember that we traditionally during the schooling period, we have been very, very reprimanded by our teachers. Don't carry guides. Don't carry guides. This is the guide, and this is actually written by one person, and it's the interpretation of the poem is always there on the guide, very simplified form. In interpretation of the essay, interpretation of the novel. But he used to tell us that no, this is not the actual interpretation. This may help you. This may be instrumental for you, but this is not the end. This is a means, not the end. Likewise, ChatGPT is a means, a very smart means for us to get the material, but it may not be end for us. That's why some countries like Italy, China, North Korea, Russia, they banned it initially. They are still thinking about it. Somehow, even in some countries, it has been banned. It has been banned because it says that it will just kill. It will just kill the intelligence level. It will just kill the growth of the intelligence. This is the situation where I remind myself that when that statistical, that device, calculator, that's not being allowed up to 8th standard. Why? Because up to 8th standard, or rather up to 5th standard, a student is expected to learn statistics, arithmetics, with the help of using his intelligence. And after they come to know about it, that they know the real intelligence now of arithmetics, now they allow that. Now you can use the calculator. Why now you can use why now it do not kill your intelligence? Because now you have come to that level, and now in order you will just save your intelligence. You'll just save your time. You will just calculate the things in a very hurry. In the same manner, you'll just save the time to get some clues, to get some notes from ChatGPT. But ultimately, we'll have to think whether this material is situational for the deliverance of this language, this very topic about our language, about the grammar, about the phonetics. It is the teacher who has the greater role to play. And conclusion, therefore, we must use the technology. We must use it as means, as I already told you, from every angle, from every level. But we must not be dependent on it. We must not be. We have the responsibilities. Being the English teachers, we have come with a mission that we'll teach students the language at par, if not at the par with the native, because that concept is now over. Native tone is now over. Now we are just pursuing, we are just struggling to get the global tone of English. Global tone. Native tone is now over. No doubt American accent has heavily dominant there. It has heavily dominated there the scenario compared to the British accent. But even then, we are more careful about the global accent, the fluency, the pronunciation that should not vary so broad that it may create some sort of ambiguity. So with this, being a humble student of English language and literature, I think that I could not suffice to give you the updated information about the language, about the tools, we can say the technological tools about our. Somehow, my lecture has come as a reminder to the team of very great and professional English teachers, and they should once again, no doubt, they have competencies. They should once again try to be willing and try to come forward and try to make use of these applications so that we can really make the good position in the academic structure all over India, particularly. Because I have one concern about English teachers. I would here like to be very personal, because I think that English teacher in general, English teacher has lost its value because of our lacune, because of our unwillingness. English teachers used to be there; they used to lead the academies. So we need to go into ourselves. We need to refresh ourselves. We need to rejuvenate ourselves. That's all I'll have to do for today, and hope that if there's any question, you're welcome. Thank you. Thank you very much for the patient listening.
Thank you so much, sir. We admire your knowledgeable and informative presentation. We got so many comments of appreciation. We have a few questions. The first question is, define artificial intelligence on the basis of systems that think rationally and systems that act like humans.
I'm pardon, actually, can you repeat? If artificial intelligence, if artificial, you mean to say that if artificial intelligence is humanoid? If it is humanoid, that means if it is loaded with human intelligence. Then the rest part of the question.
Okay, sir. Define artificial intelligence on the basis of systems that think rationally and systems that act like humans.
Actually, in artificial intelligence, with the help of certain commands, actually, as per the information from the computer sciences, we have some machine learning and deep learning. And with the help of deep learning, we actually incorporate some sort of complex commands into the machine, into the software. And with the help of that, it starts to show some humanoid intelligence, some sort of humanoid intelligence. It is not the complete, it doesn't show the complete humanoid intelligence. It shows some sort of humanoid intelligence. That's why we have the apprehensions of being misguided. We have the apprehensions that it would misinterpret the ambiguities that we put into it. Some sort of, you know that in even some sort of system softwares, we have some confusion sometimes. Sometimes we go to the a particular system software, it gets some wrong command, that's it. Ultimately, I would like to tell you that it is not so high refined human intelligence that is loaded into the artificial intelligence. And human intelligence can never be replaced by any sort of technological artificial intelligence.
The next question is, what is the future of teachers with reference to artificial intelligence?
Yes, surely. Future of English teachers, particularly as I already told you that with the arrival of every sort of, we can say that teaching language applications are there. Even now, ChatGPT, the artificial intelligence also are already there, loaded in different applications. We have the greater role to play. We have the greater role. As I already told you that even if we used to have the guide in the earlier times, but that guide is the interpretation from the one perspective, isn't it? And how to contextualize, how to situate that as per the nature of the learners, it's only the English teacher who can manipulate or who can contextualize the material and the content in the different situations. I don't think that human English teacher will lose its role in the future times of artificial intelligence. We always would have, it's only English teacher who can execute those language-based applications. no other person can execute it. And because these are the, even if there are millions and trillions of commands, ultimately these are the commands. And human mind has innumerable, infinite commands within mind, and it can situate the language to the different person. And I think that there is a role, there is a greater role, and it will never lessen the passage of time.
The last question is.
Thank you, sir. The last question is, sir, it is generally said that artificial intelligence kills human creativity. Is it so as regards to human linguistic creativity?
Yes, I'm actually, as you remember, I told in my presentation that no doubt, no doubt, artificial intelligence is there. ChatGPT. Why ChatGPT has been banned for some time? Why calculator has been banned for the student who goes up to the 5th standard? It will not kill human intelligence, provided that humans will always take it as a means. They will not be dependent on directly. They will not be mechanical. Directly, they will get some material from ChatGPT, from Google, then paste it somewhere else. So naturally, their own sort of intelligence would be in the stagnant, would be in the dormant state. It will stop working. Once it stops working, it will not be sharpened in that very manner. So we should take always artificial intelligence as a means to we can say to rejuvenate, to elevate our own human intelligence. That's always there. It's only why do we find that we are not so much intelligent? Because we do not make use of that. And
Madam,
these
can
are
I intervene here, please?
yes,
Because it's my question.
yes. You can proceed.
Sir, it's my question actually. I am Praveen Dasari from Andhra Loyola College, Vijayawada.
Yes.
My question is that in general, people say that it kills, when AI kills human creativity. I didn't say intelligence,
Yes. Creative.
creativity. So does it happen even in the case of
No, sir,
human
actually
linguistic
what
creativity?
actually
That's my question.
actually
Thank you,
what
sir.
happens? Actually, what happens? Whenever we say linguistic creativity, for example, now we have the ChatGPT right now. We have ChatGPT. It gives numerous interpretations of one sentence. And in that say, we think that no, I have not been able to interpret this sentence in 10 times, maybe 15 times. So it kills my linguistic creativity. What should I do? No. This is the next step. If artificial intelligence goes to step 5th, I will start to think from at the step 6th. By taking care of these all, for example, if artificial intelligence give me interpretation of one sentence up to the 5th level, I will start to think from the 6th level. And taking care of those very artificial intelligence, sentence from the artificial intelligence. I'll go, usually we say that, I will exploit. I will use the linguistic creativity of artificial intelligence. And out of that, I'll create my own. And that would be totally different. If you remember that, from the theoretical point of view, we have that Coleridge. Coleridge says that it's primary and secondary intelligence. Primary and secondary imagination. So now it's a far-fetched comparison, but I will not lead you there. But even then, as I already told you that human intelligence is always powerful. Now, some sort of structures we do have in our mind. When ChatGPT provides us these very things, we say that, no, it's done. Our linguistic creativity is done. Our linguistic, whatever I thought, ChatGPT told me that. But I can think beyond that. I have the mind. I can think innovative beyond that. But exploiting or using that very material that ChatGPT gives or AI gives. I think so. As per my analysis, I think it never kills the linguistic creativity. Where it ends, we can start from there, taking care of all the things that it provides us.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, sir. Welcome.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
I, Nahid Akhtar, express my gratitude and thank our guest, Mr. Mudassir Rahman Nazir, and all the participants on behalf of Bharat Institute of Engineering and Technology. I also thank my English department colleagues for their unending support for me in making the session successful. Thank you so much. Thank you so much all.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Your leave, ma'am.
The feedback link has been sent in the chat box. I would like to request all the participants to kindly go through the feedback link and let us know whatever you felt about the session. Thank you so much. We'll see you again tomorrow.